are back with Craig Hughes. You all know him, Craig Hughes, the upholsterer, salvage hunters, and salvage hunters are restorers. So I have brought my Xr3i seats. I've mentioned them to you before, haven't I?
Yeah, I avoided the question when you mentioned them.
Yeah, I know.
And you still turned up with them, didn't you?
I've brought you some beer though.
I know, yeah, that does make up for it.
Of course it does. So do you remember me telling you? You can actually see there the issue that we had. So they were fitted the wrong way around and they've been sliding in over that bolster the wrong way. And obviously now it's collapsed.
Yeah.
So what I would love for you to do, I mean, obviously I can take the seats out, I can fit the seats. This is completely above me, Craig, which is why we're here today and we're trying to show people at home how you fix this. If there is methods that we can show where people can try to do this from home, then even better, you know. But we're just trying to show the process, and obviously the customer's probably elated that Craig Hughes is doing these seats.
It'd be deflated when I've done it.
No comment.
Yeah. I didn't realise you were bringing 2 seats though. So you know that beer you brought?
Yeah.
There wasn't quite enough.
Of course I was bringing 2 seats. But they changed them round, so they've been getting in the wrong way. And there's 2 seats in a car.
There's only one driver.
He's not lonely.
So you might watch this.
Oh, well, it's lovely anyway. So
all right.
So yeah, that's really what I'm hoping to do. If we can show and demonstrate what you're going to do, and if there is, like I say, any easy methods that we can show at home, or tools that people may have at home that they could use.
Yeah, I mean,
that as well.
Most of these things, working on car seats, are things you can do at home if you're handy. Some of them are a bit more complicated, like this is a bit more complicated.
I had a feeling, yeah.
I can show you methods around it where you don't need all the professional tools.
Yes.
I mean, obviously my workshop's set up where I can just go to any machine and use it, but you're not going to have that at home. So I'll show you easy methods and other methods around fixing things and fastening things. So as we go along, I'll show you the easy way around things.
Yeah. Well, and if it isn't something you can do at home, then
I take this sort of period in my life only a really not too much these side bits and that, so when you take them off your brakes, you have to replace them. So these ones are ones you can strip down and work on. So these are about my limit. I mean, I go back doing car seats to probably 1900 or the beginning of motoring, and that's not what I go back to. But the seats
again, no comment.
the seats that I work on go back to that period.
Yeah.
So again, that sort of period, you're looking at horsehair fillings, all leather. So and then going up to this modern stuff, which is all foam filled.
Yes. Yeah. So
right.
You're teaching me today.
Okay. Again.
It's not an easy task.
With this, again, you need minimum tools. Anyone that works on cars or tinkers with cars are going to have the tools you need for these.
Brilliant.
So
superb.
It's really I wouldn't say easy, but it's straightforward.
Good.
And again, with any of these things, I always say, work on anything methodically.
Right.
Don't just go taking things off willy-nilly and then not knowing how they go back.
Yeah.
So have a look at how things are fixed. So if I turn this over to start with.
Yeah.
So you can see here, you've got the fabric that comes underneath these runners.
Yes.
Now this cover is going to be refitted again.
Yeah.
So to try and get this fed underneath these runners is going to be really difficult. So it's easier enough to take these off. There's 4 bolts on it.
Yeah.
Lift the runner off and then you can get to it.
Brilliant.
So again, looking at them, they look like 10 mil.
Yeah.
So I'll look at 10 mil.
You mean you've got a 10 mil to hand? Everybody loses their 10 mil.
You know what? I went before we started. I went through and I couldn't find a 10 mil. I couldn't find a 10 mil socket or a 10 mil ring spanner. This is the only one. I think what it is, I think I've got a 10 mil spanner in every car I've got.
Absolutely. Who hasn't in the trade?
I know. See, this one's making it more awkward now, the fact I haven't got a socket.
Yeah, so you'll probably have better tools at home than Craig has right now.
It's a ratchet one. It's a posh one.
Oh, he's here all week, literally.
Yeah, I never leave the place.
Fantastic. Can I just say, Craig, that on the majority of my videos, I try to say that people should use a tray for their fixings and bits and bobs. That's not a tray.
No, that's a plastic lid. I've got trays in here. You know the magnetic ones?
Yeah.
They're great if you're only putting bolts in them. I do upholstery in here. I put them down and I can't pick the things up. They're that heavy with staples. Absolutely covered in them. It still sticks to the bottom of them on the inside. They're everywhere.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. So if you're doing upholstery and an aerosol lid is great apparently.
Well, I have hundreds of these because I probably go through maybe 5 or 6 aerosols a day, so I've got lids everywhere.
Oh my goodness me, hoarder. Right, go on, love, what's next?
In cold bursts. Right, so this is undone now.
Yeah.
So that can be removed.
Okay.
There's some of the plastic. So that plastic has just come out from underneath here.
Right.
That was under there.
Yeah.
And that is from when the seats were brand new.
Oh,
they cover them in plastic.
Yeah.
They're bolted on, and then when people get the car home or the showroom, they rip it off.
That stays
and
there.
that's still trapped underneath it. It's some of that side as well.
Brilliant. Yeah. Because this car really hasn't, although it's an old car, it's not really done much. It's only done 16,000 miles.
That's nothing, is it?
It's
only just running.
Yeah. Definitely.
Right. So now them runners are off.
Yeah.
Need to see about getting these side pieces off. They're just held on with, I think, is it just a Phillips on there?
Let's have a look. Yeah. I need to treat you to a ratcheting screwdriver.
Why? What's wrong with that one?
That's painful to watch, that, mate. You'll get, what's that thing? When you wrist people get?
I don't know, but I've always preferred a hand job anyway. It's much easier to use. You got more control.
I'm trying my best here, mate. Seriously, am. I digress. Right, so we're taking the side panel off, yeah?
So one's off there. There's the 2 screws.
I know. I can feel my face burning.
It's all right. He'll edit it.
You did this to me last time.
He'll edit it out. You're all right.
Right, okay. Oh my goodness.
Now, so you see the screwdriver you were saying about?
Yeah.
This is a special one.
Okay.
It's a left-handed one.
Oh, for goodness sake.
I do struggle with my tools. A lot of the power tools I really struggle with. You were waiting for a joke then, weren't you?
I'm waiting for the punchline. Come on, what is it?
No, I do struggle with power tools.
Why?
If you ever look at power tools, any of them, no, it's not a joke.
Come on.
No, this is a promotional hint for me.
Go. Let's do it. Yes.
No, if you got power tools,
yeah,
right-handed, they're always made for right-handed people. So you pick them up to use with your right hand, and they have a button on them.
Yes.
For locking them on.
Yeah.
Oh, so when I'm using them, left-handed, I press that button in all the time.
How interesting.
So I really struggle with power tools.
Right.
So I don't know whether they do left-handed ones or not, but I do really struggle with them. So I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing being left-handed now.
You're just awkward.
No, I just put it down to being a genius that I'm left-handed, but I suppose
there is always
you mere mortals have to suffer, don't you?
Yeah, it is a good point, that, actually. Who have we been speaking to recently regarding power tools? Oh, Milwaukee, actually. We went to a trade show recently, and we were looking, because we have quite a lot of Milwaukee tools. And if you haven't got any of their tools, by the way, they're awesome. Their fuel range is what I use mainly. But I've got a contact now there. I could mention that to him.
Yeah, tell him that we've been discriminated against.
Okay.
Just tell him Craig said.
Yeah, it's got nothing to do with me. I'm saying it's him.
Right.
Right, sorry.
Do you want to know what's going on here?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Right.
Go on, let's go for it.
These, that's one I've just taken off.
Yeah.
So that's them there.
All right, okay.
And they're called hog rings.
Oh.
Now, I always look at these things. So you need to take these off. A pair of pincers or pliers or something like that.
Yeah.
Pull it off like that.
Yeah.
Then feed it through.
Oh, right, okay.
I always look at all these things when I'm working. I always think, oh, hog rings. Wonder where that name's come from. And the only thing I can think of is it the ring they used to put through the noses of pigs and cows.
Mm.
But I don't know. I could be completely wrong. I just like to make these things up and sound good.
It sounds great. I'm all for it.
Yeah, as long as you believe me.
Okay.
This is
Great stuff. So that's the last nose ring.
that's the last one out.
Right,
Yeah.
brilliant. So what's this? What's
Right,
that for?
That's a cord. Now the reason they put that through there is this fabric, if they just put the hog rings through that, it would tear.
Yeah.
So that's put through to give it the strength.
Yeah.
But also on this unit here, you've got these wires. This supports your seat.
Yeah.
And on the side, you've got springs.
Yeah.
Because obviously the wire doesn't give, but the springs do. This piece on the side here
Right.
is a piece of metal.
Right.
And that is wrapped in the same stuff as this cord here.
Oh, okay.
Now the reason that's wrapped in that is if you just had a metal bar there with these wires onto it,
Yeah.
when you sit on it over a period of time, the movement up and down starts squeaking.
Right.
So they wrap it with this, it's like a paper, they wrap it with, and that stops it squeaking.
Right.
So if ever you get an older car seat that's got this in it and the squeaking when you sit on them,
Yeah.
invariably it's that's
That's
causing
what it is.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So we have had a few in actually that
Right.
squeaky bum syndrome. When
See,
you get
yeah, you
absolutely.
sure it was a seat.
I am certain it was the seat. Yeah. So what? Do you want me to put these away? Because I've told people to start putting things in.
Right, no, they can go in the bin.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll tell you what, I'll put these in the bin.
Yeah.
And then I'll go and wash my hands because as you can see, my hands are dirty.
It's because you're doing some work, mate.
You should have cleaned this before you brought it in.
Don't blame me.
So, no, the thing is with upholstery, you've got to keep your hands clean because the last thing you want to do now is start working on that and get oil or dirt on the seat,
Absolutely.
on the fabric. So you've got to be careful with that. So my bench might look a bit dirty, but this is clean all the time.
Yeah.
So I do upholstery. If you're going to work on this at home and you've got no separate bench, put a cover over a bench or something that you're going to work on.
Definitely.
Because if you get any dirt or oil on this fabric, especially something that's not, you can't go and buy this, something that's not replaceable. So this grey on the side of this seat and the vinyl is replaceable. But the other pattern fabric down the middle, you can't. So if you get oil on that, you're snookered.
Yeah. So can you go and wash your hands?
I'll go and wash my hands, yeah.
Right, show me your hands first.
That was from a job I was doing this morning. That's glue that's got dirt on it now that won't come off. I did scrub it.
Right, okay. It'll pass. Go for it. What's next?
So I'm going to take this off here now.
Right.
If you wanted, and you would say for example, you wanted to take this seat somewhere, and you couldn't get them in your car.
Okay.
The backs on these fold. Usually, are two-seaters. The backs tilt down on them.
Yeah.
All it is two torque screws. You've got two big screws there.
Yeah.
If you would tuck them out, the back will come away.
Okay.
Which would leave you just the seat. Makes it easier to work on, but if you're transporting them as well, it also makes it easier for that.
Right.
No point in us doing that because I can work on this as it is.
Oh, right, good. Okay.
So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to peel this off. And then we need to get this foam and the fabric off this metal frame.
Right, okay.
So usually if you start feeding this through, the thing you're going to have to watch when you're working on any of these metal frames, the edges on them,
sharp.
Yeah, very sharp, yeah. It's only when you see blood you realise you've cut yourself. That's how sharp they are.
Craig, so this could turn into a horror video. It is nearly Halloween.
Yeah,
so why not?
I noticed how you were wishing that on me. You were stood there with your hands in your pockets.
I'm a bit cold actually. You could have put the heating on. I don't feel like it's
You know why you're
expensive.
cold?
Why?
Because you're doing sod all.
That's why I brought it to you. I'm learning, Craig.
Is that what you're doing?
It's all up here, somewhere.
Yeah. I've heard that one before as well. Learning means skiving.
Listen, every day's a school day when I'm here, matey. I appreciate the knowledge.
See, you're lying again, aren't you?
Yeah, you've sussed me out now. You've known me long enough, haven't you? I can't get away with it anymore. Right, so what are we doing now?
Right, so this is peeling off.
Yeah.
This side here, this side is where the foam had worn through. And then what it's done is it's worn through on this bit here. And this is quite good actually, compared to a lot of the ones I see. This has got some sort of plastic protection over this.
Yeah.
Normally, it's just this wire.
Right.
Which makes it wear through even quicker.
Right.
So this one's quite well built for a lot of these cars.
Fantastic, because I could feel that through the top of the seat. I thought this was just going to be metal.
Yeah, that's how they normally are. So I'm quite surprised that it's got this over it.
Interesting.
So this now should pull out, and then you can do.
Look at that.
Look at that.
Wow.
So there's the seat.
Yeah.
I'll move this and get this out of the way.
Oh. You are going to clean this seat afterwards, aren't you?
There are you sacked.
Are you here all week again? I love it.
Right.
Oh.
So now the fabric on this is going to be fastened. Can you see that's pulled in there?
Yeah.
That's going to be fastened in there somewhere.
Okay.
So if you're doing this at home, don't just go ripping it off, because you will tear the cover. So
Okay.
just be careful. So this is the offending side.
Right. Yeah, that is quite offensive, isn't it?
Yes.
Look at that. Wow. Do you know, I have a friend, I know exactly what he
Do
would
you?
say, right? I do.
Just the one.
Oh my goodness. I'm hurt, Craig, I'm hurt. No, I just know what he'd say about that. And he'd just say that that's like an abused bus seat.
It's goosed.
Yeah.
Goosed is the word.
Yeah. Do you remember the old bus seats when you used to, like the mains buses from years ago when you were
Ones
going
that
to
smell
school?
of wee.
Yeah. The ones. Yeah. Sorry, right, go for it.
Yeah. You see, I've lost my stride now. So that's something I was going to say. I was going to mention something else, and you see, you've distracted me now. Seats.
Sorry.
Behave yourself.
Sorry.
Now, see this fabric here. See, when this was on the seat, it's a little bit baggy.
Yeah.
There's absolutely nothing you can do with this.
Oh.
What that is, I'll show you on this side piece here. So this is the grey plate. So this bit here is this.
Yeah. Okay.
Right? So what you've got is this backing here has a foam layer on it, which is disintegrated.
Oh.
So there's your grey.
Yeah.
There's your grey fabric.
Uh-huh.
And then you've got this back piece here.
Right.
There should be a layer of foam in between that. It's called scrim.
Right.
You'll see it a lot with headlinings. The foam backed, and then the foam perishes and it drops down.
Right. Okay.
So that's what's causing this little bit of bagginess here. It should have a thin layer of foam on it.
Right. Okay.
This middle bit here, because it's fastened, if you wanted to at home, if you've got the time and you want to start doing it, you can undo these hog rings down here.
Oh yeah. Right. Yeah, I can see.
So
them.
these hog rings, can you see them ones there?
Yeah. Yeah.
You can undo them, but what you've got to be very careful of is when this foam's made, it's called injection moulded foam. They have a mould which is sealed completely, and they pour liquid into it, which when it's set creates this.
Right.
But when they're doing it, there's a metal rod in there and in there that's moulded it into the foam.
Right. Okay.
If you're not careful, that comes away. Once that's come away, you're going to really struggle with it.
Right.
So
Yeah.
the less you can mess with that in there, the better.
Okay.
Only do it if you really got to.
Yeah. Okay.
These side pieces here, like this one, we can do something with that where it's got a little bit baggy. What we'll do is peel that back the same as that. And then we've got a piece of, it's called polyester wadding, it's a white stuff.
Yeah.
We'll put that over there and that'll just bump that out a little bit.
Brilliant. Okay.
So that'll take the place of this scrim foam.
Yeah. Right.
Right, so this piece here now.
See, this is the interesting one for me. What are you going to do with that?
Yeah, what am I going to do with that?
You're not filling me with confidence, Craig.
Right, normally I would just glue that together if it was in good condition, but you can see where it's really just worn away completely now.
Yeah, definitely.
So even if I glue that together, it's not going to be right, that.
Okay.
But the other thing I've got to watch as well is that needs to be open in here. So
like
that
a pit of bread.
So that, yeah.
Sorry, I'm a bit hungry. Right, go on.
You've got plenty of chilli sauce with it.
Yeah.
So that needs to be open.
Yeah.
So no matter what we do on the top there, that's got to be kept like that.
Okay.
So I think what we'll have to do here is cut the top off this. We'll cut the top off and bond a new piece on it.
Cool.
So that's your job.
Oh no.
Go on.
No! So you're going to glue this gash?
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Okay. So, like, go on. So how are you going to do that, Craig? Enlighten me.
Right, what I would normally do is cut all this away. It's not bad enough that I would need to cut all this off and restart. And not only that, you can see here you've probably only got an inch or so, maybe an inch and a half, that needs gluing back together, because the rest of it needs to be open. So what I'm going to do is glue this together as best I can, and then we're left with this, see this bit here. So I'm going to cut some of this off then once it's glued together, and bond another piece to the top of it.
Okay.
And then we'll sculpt that into some sort of shape.
Right, cool. Let's do it.
The only things so far on this job that you will need to buy is probably some of this, which is a heavy duty spray adhesive.
Right.
Be careful putting any other sort of glues onto these, any solvents or anything, it just melts it.
Oh, of course.
So you need a special glue for it.
Yeah.
Other than that, most of the tools I've used so far are readily available in anybody's man shed, man cave, man shed. Somebody's shed anyway.
Right, go on.
Right, so I'm going to spray this now, and I'm literally just spraying along that top edge.
Yeah.
And along here as well. Try to avoid getting too much in there, because if I press this together and these bottom bits touch, they will glue themselves together.
Yeah. It's like you've done it before.
I know, yeah. Once or twice. But you could watch with these glues, if you're doing it in the summer, because it relies on evaporation for sticking. Right. In the summer, it goes off really quick. In the winter, sometimes it could take a little bit longer. Because it's not very hot today, it's not sticking. It will stick, but it's just...
taking a bit of time.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and then once we get that one over the top of it, then it's going to hold it all together.
Yeah. Right,
so what I've done is I've glued this together.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how much it's bonded yet, because it's not in very good state.
Yeah.
So when you're cutting this off to bond a new piece onto it, try and take as little off as possible. But you can see here where this dip is. That's pointless. That.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking maybe if I cut away this much.
Yeah.
So I'll cut away that much there.
Yeah.
That should hopefully give us a nice area to bond the new foam to.
Okay.
So with this, what I would normally do is I take it through. I've got a big machine, and it gives me nice clean cuts.
Yeah.
And the cleaner the cut, the better your new foam will bond to it.
Yeah.
But obviously, anyone doing this at home, you're not going to have a big machine. So if you use one of these,
is that what I think it is?
That's for your Christmas dinner.
I'm going to say, is the turkey ready?
Yeah, that's for your Christmas dinner. Now these things, I'm sure everybody's got one in the cupboard that they've never used. But if not,
apart from Christmas Day,
yeah, these ones, I think I was paying 12 quid for them.
Yeah,
I burn them out in a matter of weeks or months. So yeah, you can see this one is sort of falling apart now. But if you've got one of these, it'll do this job, and I'll show you now.
Yeah.
So just remember, when you're cutting, always cut towards your mate. You don't want to cut towards yourself.
Right, so I'm standing here.
Right, so I've cut that off there now.
This bit.
That's the bit, the scabby bit in your hand.
Yeah, I keep playing with it. It's disgusting, that bit.
Like each to their own.
Right, go on. What's next? What's next?
So now that's flat.
Yeah.
I've got a piece of foam. This is high density foam. There's different densities. Foams are usually coloured for density.
Okay.
So usually the lighter the colour. So if you go for whites, yellows, they're usually very soft there. So you'd use them on backs and things like that.
Yeah.
The blues are firmer ones. Then you've got even harder ones, but you don't want anything too hard. So that's the one I would go for on there.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is plant that on there by gluing it again.
Yeah.
So again, if you're working with this, if you hold that up against there,
yeah,
you're not going to overspray onto the fabric then.
Yeah.
So and then that sticks on there. So give that a minute to dry. Then we can trim that off roughly.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to experiment with something I've never done before.
Is it dangerous?
It could possibly be dangerous.
Is it messy?
It could possibly be messy.
Oh my, this is sounding fun.
Right, well, this side now, I've just tried it with one layer of this polyester on it, and it wasn't quite enough. So what I've done now is done a second layer.
Yep. I thought it looked great, by the way.
Did you?
I did.
Good,
I
good, good. You're easily impressed, aren't you?
Yeah. For a woman, yeah. Wow.
So that's
wow.
So that's that side done.
Yeah, fantastic.
This other side as well, so where the fabric's gone a bit baggy. Again, it's because the foam's gone behind it. So what I'll do is I'm going to peel that side back and just put one layer over that because it's not as bad as this side.
Yes.
And then we're ready to put it back on the frame.
So we're just going to cut back in here. Now, obviously, the seat goes back together. It's the reverse of what you've already shown me.
It is exactly the reverse order, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. So what I did want to show you was this tool that's just pretty much nearly took my head off.
It's like something off Star Trek, isn't it?
Yeah. So what does it do?
Right, so this is loaded here. So these here are loaded on in a big long strip.
Yeah.
Then this here.
Yeah.
So if I...
Ah, right.
So while you're here, if you want any piercings doing...
Not on camera, mate.
I don't charge a lot. I just do it for pleasure.
Right, okay, so what...
so with these, you can see where the old hog ring has been.
Yeah.
So you've got a hole in it there.
Yeah.
And then you've got a hole in the metal.
Yeah.
So pull it so it lines up with the hole.
Yeah. Okay.
So that holds that. Now, obviously at home, you've not got this facility.
Yeah.
So the easiest way, if you're going to do this at home...
Yeah, what accent was that, mate? Did you think I was going to let that go? The easiest way.
The easiest way, mate.
There was no way I was letting that go.
Do you know what? I do a radio show on a Monday.
Yes.
And I started doing impressions.
Oh, no.
Absolutely dreadful impressions, but I enjoyed doing them. And then people started ridiculing me. So I'm really upset now. So I've been practicing this one. See if you can guess who it is.
Go on.
It's Sooty.
Oh, yeah.
Now, nobody can fault me for that one.
Oh, my God. So everyone takes a mick out of me, right? Because every accent that I try and do always ends up as Jamaican. Everyone, I don't know. Like the first
You've got an older accent. How does it sound like a Jamaican one?
The first two words come out brilliant, but then I just end up turning into Jamaican.
Right. So,
cool
runnings then.
Yeah. Right, sorry. Right, go on.
Did I explain what you do at home? Or did we not get that far? Right. Cable ties. Yes.
You did.
Right, okay. So my hog rings would go in here.
Yeah.
If you're at home, obviously you've not got this tool. So through there, if you just get a little electrical screwdriver, pop a hole, make that hole a little bit bigger.
Right, yeah.
Tiny cable tie, pull it through, pull it tight, and that's how you fasten it off at home. Now we've got ducks in the background. This is a workshop with ducks, guard ducks at that.
Oh my goodness. You've done it again!
You're putting your head in the way. Have you not got your goggles on?
Oh, no.
Fogged up.
Right, go on. You said you wanted me to wear my goggles, didn't you? Craig, do you actually... I can't see through these.
Are they your driving ones?
Is it just... Do you wear these? You
That's
don't,
your-
do you?
Yeah, can you not see through them?
You need an eye test or something.
You must need an eye test if you can't see through them.
Right, go on, sorry.
Right, so this is all fastened on.
Yes.
All the fabric's hog ringed.
Yep.
So this seat now is just ready for the runners to go back on.
Yep.
And the plastic bits to go on the side.
So that's
And that's,
literally,
and that's
again,
this one done.
reverse.
Yeah,
So that's
exactly the reverse.
nothing
Yeah.
different.
No, just the screws in that. Runners on with the 410mm bolts. And then that one's ready for you to take along with this one to practice on.
That wasn't the deal. Well, I know,
There wasn't a deal.
Well, yeah.
You can't just start. You can't start making up deals now. It's too late in the day for that.
You knew me.
What? Yeah, you're just a scammer, aren't you?
You love it.
Take advantage of old men.
Oh my goodness me. I don't. I honestly don't. No, I don't. We're trying to promote the skills,
Yes, and that's what I've done.
not take advantage of old men. Right, anyway. So yeah.
Right. So, are you clear with how to do that?
Absolutely.
Good. Good.
Yeah, I remember this bit, this card bit, that when that card becomes deteriorated, it makes a squeaky bum.
Yeah. I
That's-
noticed how
that's
you
in
remember
there.
that bit. Yeah.
That's totally in there.
Yeah. So all the bits you need to remember have gone, have they?
And don't use a grinder.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that bit as well. No, honestly, this is, it's like we said, we're trying to show people that, you know, these things are achievable at home. These tools that Craig's used today, the majority of them, yes, you're not going to have anything like this. And if you do, you might need some help. If you're not an upholsterer. But the majority of the tools you've used today, you've said before, they will have at home.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you have got anything like this, give it a go. If you don't succeed, there are people like Craig Hughes who you can contact who will fix it for you.
Yeah. The way I always look at these things is if you don't have a go, you're not going to know if you can do
Exactly.
it. And the worst thing you can do to something like this is if you take it apart very carefully, the worst thing that can happen is you're going to have to come into somebody who knows what they're doing and just say, look, I've made a mess of this.
Absolutely.
Can you put it right?
Yeah.
As long as you don't actually damage or break anything, then you're fine.
It's fixable.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And it is just a matter of taking your time. And I do say to people, have a go yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. And something like this, fair enough, have a go yourself.
Yeah.
As providing it's on your own vehicle. I wouldn't recommend somebody doing it for the mate on their car, because if it goes wrong,
Definitely
then
not. I mean, I've trusted you with our customers' vehicles.
does he know?
No.
You're going to
No,
take the credit for this, aren't you?
Oh, am I? No, he's actually highly honoured, and he should be. You're awesome, you know that. But thank you very much for showing us that.
Right.
This isn't the end, though.
It's not.
No.
Are
So
you sure?
there's another seat down there. And,
Oh, aye.
I've brought some.
I just seen them over there. Yeah, I wasn't going to say anything. I was going to hope you'd forgotten about them, because I seen you sneak them in.
I did sneak them in, yeah. They weren't the easiest thing to sneak neither. So
They're bigger than you, then.
just follow me over it. So these Craig, see these
Yeah.
here, these
Yeah.
are door cards, yeah.
Yeah.
And I was wondering if you'd just take a look.
Yeah.
At
Yeah. Oh,
this,
yeah.
This is how I snuck them
Do
in.
you,
Like
do you know what? I'll confirm it. They are door cards.
Can you have a look at them for me, please?
What do you want me to do?
Well, they're a bit baggy. Yeah, they're a bit baggy. So each one has got a different fault, actually. So can you see how the material's coming away on this one, for instance?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I think your ducks are going mad
That's-
again. Yeah, so material on that one. Now, the other one, that's the easy one. Yeah. Yeah, that's a little bit of damage there. And these aren't available. As you keep saying, they're not available anymore. So you're the man that can,
Right.
which is why I've snuck these in and not told you about these.
Well, I'll tell you what I'll do then. I'll put the runners on this seat and get it off the bench, and then I'll have a brew and look at that for you.
Can I just show you this?
Oh, there's not more.
Can I just show you? So there's two door cards.
Right.
Now, this one's a little bit different in that I've got a bit of another
Yeah,
issue.
it's the opposite side. That's how it's different.
Yeah, but I've got another issue with this one.
Yeah.
This looks like someone's done a repair in the past, and and we've got that to deal with. I'm sorry. Is there anything we can do?
Probably not, because this is compressed cardboard.
Right.
So to repair this, I'd have to take that off. If I take that off, it's going to break all this.
Oh, really?
Does the door card fit with that on it?
Yeah, not. It could be better, but it will. You know, it will fit.
Yeah. See, somebody's been fiberglass in it as well.
Yeah. Can we save it? Can we?
We can do something with it. I don't know what.
It doesn't involve anything that. You know.
We'll have a look and see what we can do with it.
Fantastic.
Tell you what. Yeah, we'll have a brew and then.
Have a brew?
Yeah, I'll have a brew and then think about it. Yeah, this job's getting bigger, isn't it?
No.
No.
I did tell you about
it was
them
one
just a minute
seat,
ago.
then 2 seats, now door cards.
The deal always grows, you know.
Right,
that?
yeah, right.
So anyway, driver's side and passenger side. We'll start with the driver's side. This is the one really that's got the most issues.
Right, okay.
So there, you know where your elbows sit. They always go there, don't they?
Yeah, the thing is with these door cards, they're actually made out of compressed cardboard.
Yeah.
So it's like a hardboard type thing. So there's not much strength in them.
Yeah.
So over the years, obviously people put their elbows on and they do break.
Yeah,
It's a common thing.
I've just noticed as well. I've got Craig Hughes' finger. Look.
Ah, you got glue.
I've got the staining the same as Craig.
It's surprising, that glue. That'll be on there for ages. You'll rub it until your skin comes off. That's the only way of removing it.
It's like a disability.
Use a scalpel, that does it.
I've got Craig Hughes' finger. Right. Anyway, sorry. So obviously the issue there. Now it's coming away here as well.
Right. Yeah, that is a common thing.
And
what's going on there? It
so
looks like custard.
I don't actually know.
Expanding foam, isn't it?
Yeah, I think they've tried in the past to try and reinforce that from behind, maybe, and it's obviously not the best. And then fiberglass there.
Yeah. See, even that fiberglass, because they put it on so thin, is actually cracked.
Yeah.
So again, it's the wrong type of repair for this. That there, there's nothing I could do with that, because this is like a compressed cardboard type thing.
Yeah.
What will happen is if I try to take that off to do a proper repair, it's just going to delaminate this cardboard. It'll just fall apart. Right. So I think you're going to be stuck with that. I don't think there's a lot I can do with that, unless you can buy another door card and then obviously strip this one off and reupholster it. But it's a big job.
Yeah. Okay. So regarding, can we secure this back? Can we stick this back down?
Yeah, I'll tell you what I can do with that. This is normally glued down. So what you would do is you glue it underneath here, then you would clamp it all, and then you'd wait for the glue to dry. So that would probably take 24 hours for it to dry. Yeah. But for my staple guns, I've got different size staples.
Okay.
So this is probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 mil board this. Yeah. I've got 4 mil staples. I can staple this down and that'll be as good as it being glued.
Brilliant.
And it's a lot quicker as well.
Fantastic. So we can do that. Yeah. I'll just move this one out of the way for you. Is there anything else you need to look at on there? Are you happy with that?
No, I'm happy with just stapling that.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So that's that one.
Yeah.
And then obviously passenger side, we've got a few.
Yeah, there's a couple of splits in that. Again, with this type of thing, if this was a normal vinyl or a leather, they can be repaired really, well, not really easy, but they can be repaired easier than this can. Yeah. This stuff it's a very thin PVC. Right. And they heat it up and it's sort of shrunk onto here. So with it being like that, it sort of work hardens and goes brittle. So that's what's happened here. It's gone really brittle where the split is. Yeah. So the only thing I could do with that is put a patch behind it. Okay. Of a similar colour. Yeah. And it'll just disguise that, so you won't see the brown backing on it. Right. But it's the only thing really that can be done with that. And I've noticed here while I'm doing this. Yeah. Oh, this has come away, hasn't it?
It has, unfortunately. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think that, in fact, that's going to work in my favour. Okay. Because normally, if I'm patching these, well, if I'm patching these, what I do with these. If I'm doing repairs like this, or I've got repairs like this to do, whether it be on vinyl or leather, I normally palm them off on Mrs. H. She's got much more patience than me, so what we normally do is then...
Well, she does need patience to put up with you, doesn't she, in fairness?
God, never grows old, does it?
Right, go on. Anyway, sorry.
Right, so normally on these patches, we would feed in a piece of vinyl or leather behind this.
Yeah.
So it'd be fed in through there and then glued down.
Okay.
But because all this has come away, that's going to make it a lot
So you can
easier.
get access through the
get
back.
access, so you know you can
Right.
see where my finger is there.
Yeah.
I can just feed a patch in the back there.
Yeah.
And that's going to make it a lot easier. I was, like I say, I was going to get Mrs. H to do it, but I don't think she's up for it. So
Right. Okay.
I'll do that.
Yeah.
And then we'll see. I mean, I think again, once where that is, it should be easy enough to glue this back down.
Right.
And I'm not sure about this corner here though.
Okay.
That again, it's a common thing with door cards.
So is it shrunk or something?
Yeah, it shrinks.
Oh, right.
Because it's getting heat on it through the windows. And the problem with these car manufacturers, they cut this so short.
Yeah.
There's no, if I was upholstering one of these, I'd allow a good inch on the back of it, so I had plenty to glue on.
Yeah.
They allow a couple of mil on the back, and it just, as soon as it gets hot, it just comes away.
Absolutely.
This corner here, I don't think there's going to be a great deal I can do with it. Might be able to warm it up and get a staple in it, but I'd have to try. What I've got to watch is the amount of strain I've got to put on this. It doesn't split. Yeah, so I'm going to have to be careful with that. Yeah. But we'll have a look at that when we get to it.
Yeah.
So
what do you want to start with?
The easy one, that.
Let's do it. We'll start with the easy one as requested.
Yeah.
What can I do to help?
Stand over there.
I should have known, shouldn't I? What, right to that one?
I'm going to lie it on its face down like that.
Yeah.
You know, I've put in here staples. I'll show you the staples I've got. So they're the 4mm staples.
Right, tiny.
I've got these anywhere from this length up to 16mm, these guns take. So it gives me plenty of scope for stapling to different things.
Yeah.
So all I'm going to do with this is really easy. I'm just going to pull it over, hold it with my finger. You see there, that's apart from that one there. So that's as good as it is being glued.
Yeah.
And it's instantaneous, this as well, rather than waiting for glue to dry.
Yeah, definitely. Craig's done a sterling job as always. So all the staples are in. And now, if we turn it round, you can actually see that it's taken most of that bagginess away, actually, hasn't it? That's fantastic.
Once your door handles are in here, that will hold this middle bit down.
Pull it even. Yeah, that's fantastic. Thanks, Craig. Are you ready for the other one now?
I would be if it was as easy as this.
You know you love it.
Oh, yeah, of course. You tell me anything. Right. So
what are we doing with this one?
Right. What I'm going to do is, obviously, I'm going to have to work through the hole here.
Right, okay.
So let's get some bits from over here. So
that's a really good match.
Yeah.
So you just had that in stock?
Yeah, this is just, I mean, we've got the amount of stuff we have in stock for things like this, you know, that's only you would never keep that for anything else, you know.
Right.
What you're going to do with that, you can't cover a dining room chair or anything else with it, but for things like this, perfect thing. Yeah,
brilliant.
So what I'm going to do, rather than, if I was doing a little patch like this, I'd feed it in and just do a little tiny bit.
Okay.
But because I can get my hand in the back there, I'm going to put one big patch in, because that means then it's not going to go anywhere.
Right. Okay.
So if I cut this big enough now, so that's going to go in there like that. So this corner here is going to be a bit awkward, so I'll cut that off there. So now,
so is this kind of, is this vinyl? Is this what you...
This, yeah, so this is like a PVC as opposed to a vinyl. A vinyl has a backing on it, which is a faux leather, has a backing on it, whereas this PVC stuff doesn't. It's just literally plastic on the back. Right,
okay. And is this stuff easy to buy if someone did want to try something like this at home?
Yeah, this stuff, I mean, I would never recommend, if you're going to do a door card, say you were going to upholster this yourself, I wouldn't recommend buying this PVC vinyl stuff. It's horrible.
Okay.
If you're going to buy one, buy a proper vinyl with a backing on it. So it's got, I'll show you this one here that I've thrown on the floor. So this one's got a backing like that.
Okay. So
now, not all the backings are the same, but they have got a backing on them.
Right.
This one that's on here now,
it
looks like that on the back. It just looks like a shiny plastic on the back.
Okay.
That's great if you're working in a factory. They heated these up, they glue them on, shrink them on.
Yeah.
A lot of machines involved. It's great for that.
Yeah.
If you're doing them by hand, it's useless.
Right. Okay.
So if you're going to get it, get one of these.
Yeah.
And again, there's a bit of stretch with it, not massive amount, but enough. And again, if you're covering this, for example, and you come to a corner, warm it up with a hairdryer, glue it on.
Brilliant. Yep. Super.
Right. So now that patch is in there, so you can see immediately how much better that looks.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be able to glue these bits down because it's gone brittle.
Yes.
But the patch itself, all I'm going to do with the patch, if you look inside here, that's the patch. Now obviously I don't want that patch moving or going anywhere, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put some glue behind this, press it down, and that's going to stop the patch moving.
All right. Okay.
So will you hold that?
Yes. I knew I'd come in useful at some point. Now you've sprayed glue all over me and everything else that you've... Well,
we're all right with this one. It's got a brush on it.
Okay.
So this is just... all I'm going to do with this is just going to spread some glue on the back of this.
Yeah.
Now some of these vinyls soak the glue in. They don't actually come out the other side, but they soak into the backing.
Okay.
So while that's still wet, because this is a contact adhesive, you need it on both surfaces.
All right.
So what I do is put excess on that, because I know it's not going to soak through the vinyl. Press it down. That puts the glue onto the other surface, saves you painting it on both surfaces, and that'll be dry in a few minutes.
Oh,
and then we can
I see.
carry on sticking that down.
So what glue was that you used?
Just a contact adhesive. I mean, if you wanted, you can buy any contact adhesive. So rather than, don't go for things like these water-based ones, like you get these Copydexes and things like that. People use a lot of them. Don't use that sort of thing. Okay. You're better off with like an Evo stick, which is a contact adhesive. We have special ones for vinyls and leathers, but for what we're doing here, gluing it onto that board, there's no need for that.
Right, okay. Right, Craig, so is this got to dry now or?
Well, that patch there that I've just inserted and glued is dry.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this down, and I'm going to glue it down with another spray adhesive, the same as what I used on the foam.
Right.
Because this is foam based. So I'm going to glue this down.
Yeah.
But before I staple it, that's going to have time to dry. Because if I don't,
I'm so glad you said that. Can I be absent for a minute?
You're going to be absent?
Yeah.
Oh, come on. I'll do all the work again myself.
Right, okay. I need to go and play with Mrs. H for a minute.
Okay. Can I watch?
Mrs. H! She's here! I've talked her into it. This wonderful, wonderful lady is, well, this is your forte.
Yes.
So, as Craig was saying earlier, she has lots of patience, and you need it, to be fair, don't you, love?
Let him do the restorations.
So he was just showing me. So this is what Craig's using at the moment to do the patch, yeah? And you showed me the most amazing thing that I just had to share with everybody. Take it away, Mrs. H.
So this is just the vinyl.
Yeah.
This is a proper hard wire brush, and I need you to take that.
Yeah.
I'm going to hold it firmly for you.
Yeah.
And I want you to scrub as hard as you can.
Yeah, and that really is a really hard wire brush. Check this out. Right, as hard as I can, yeah?
Yeah.
Right, I can't do it any harder than that.
Do the other way. And look at that.
Oh my goodness. Oh, that is literally indestructible. I love that. Wow.
Impressed?
I am impressed. That is, you can't even feel any marks or anything. That I am just, isn't it? So Do they use this now regularly on cars?
It's a new thing that's come out.
Okay.
We use it for upholstery.
Right.
Basically, if you've got children with buckles and things like that,
Yeah.
it stops them scratching. Dogs.
Yeah,
Ideal for dogs. Cats is a no, because they pluck. This will just go. So, yeah. But, yeah, it's a new thing that's out. So, yeah, I wouldn't think twice about using
Definitely not.
upholstery for cars.
That's
I think that is a better way forward than using leather.
Of course it would. That's just going to last
Save you a
forever.
fortune.
Yeah.
Absolutely save you a fortune.
Any tips and advice? This wonderful lady, this is who you need to speak to. But any advice, so if you want to get in touch with Craig for upholstery, you will be directed immediately to Mrs. H.
Yeah.
90% of the time,
Yeah.
she's going to fix it. Girl power. Final door card done.
I know, yeah, this one was a bit more difficult.
Yeah.
I've glued this down here so it's pulled in a bit.
Yeah.
That's the best I can do with these repairs.
It looks miles better than it did.
At least you can't see through them now. It looks
Yeah.
a similar colour.
Yeah.
I've stapled all this along here. This corner was really difficult because it was so short, the vinyl.
Yeah,
What I've had to do.
just show that actually. So you've managed to pull that tight, which you was a bit concerned about.
Yeah. What I had to do was heat it up.
Yeah.
So I got the hairdryer on it, heated it up and stretched it.
Yeah.
There's two things you've got to be careful of heating it up. One, you can actually melt it and it shrivels and it's miles too short then.
Yeah.
Or you can warm it that much when you stretch it, it tears.
Yeah.
So it's just that happy medium. So I've managed to do that anyway. So that's this door card done. So
Yeah.
hopefully.
Brilliant.
Oh!
Mrs. H, I'm sorry, she's ever so naughty.
Actually, I do a crap zippy impression.
What on earth is that? Craig's malfunctioning, guys. I don't know what's going on.
No, I'm not. Yeah, Vivian off the young ones, that.
Oh, is it?
All right, Neil, that was bound to happen.
Fantastic. Well, from Zippy and from me.
Bye, Zippy.
No, Craig, as always, go sit him there and behave you.
Don't throw Humphrey over. Whatever he's called, George.
You
I thought the big one was called Humphrey.
Humphrey the hippo. Is it a hippo? Right, guys, we're thanks for joining into this episode of Play School.
Oh, look!
His way in.
It's Jodie. Hello.
I haven't put anything in his coffee, honestly.
No, she's not made me one. That's why.
So, thanks for joining into the Play School today. Through the round window, we're going to exit.
Exit to the pub.
Definitely. No, but as always, Craig, thank you so much for your time.
That's all right. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, we always enjoy our
Did you believe
visits.
that as well?
No. Did you believe me?
No.
But you've done a sterling job as always. And I hope we've given confidence to people again to work, from home if they can do.
Yeah.
And again, if you have got any questions or any upholstery, and remember, classic cars, Craig's your man, and Mrs. H.
Have a
Get
go.
in touch, yeah. Have a go.
Have
And
a go.
If not,
what's the worst that can happen?
these are the chaps that can help you. Not these guys. He fell over as I said that.
He's really good at it.
So anyway, thank you, Craig.
That's all right. It's a pleasure.
Let's get to the pub.